citizens of reason. You rise each day with the sun and carry upon your shoulders the weight of other men's opinions. You walk the road of life not as yourself, but as a shadow stretched by the gaze of others. Why? What is it to you if another soul whispers your name in admiration or in jest? Their thoughts are fleeting, like the breeze over a field of felt, then forgotten. What difference does it make to the oak whether men speak well or ill of its branches? It stands because it must. So must you. You were not born to please them. You were not shaped by nature to entertain their praise or bend under their scorn. You were given breath, mind, and time, each a sacred trust. And yet you trade these away for the shallow currency of applause. But listen, no one cares. And that is your freedom. The baker minds his dough. The soldier minds his duty. The stars move without concern for your worry. So must you tend to your soul. What purpose is nobler than to align your life with reason, to live by virtue, to do what is right not because eyes are watching, but because it is right? Do not concern yourself with the noise. Let others busy themselves with gossip, with envy, with show. Why? Well, be still. Be simple. Do the work. Improve the self. Every moment you spend wishing to be seen is a moment lost from becoming worthy of being seen. Waste no time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Let your life be its own proof. Let your actions speak in the silence. Remember, your time is short, and the universe does not pause for your distraction. Focus. Live by reason, not by validation. In a world where attention has become a form of currency, many have traded their inner compass for the fleeting approval of others. They measure their worth not by the clarity of their thoughts or the strength of their character, but by likes, praise, and nods of agreement. This is a quiet form of slavery when a person no longer acts from reason, but reacts for applause. But the moment you choose to live by reason, you break that chain. You begin to think, speak, and act not for others, but for truth. Validation is sweet, but it is also hollow. It disappears as quickly as it appears. One day they cheer for you, the next they forget your name. To chase it is to run endlessly toward a finish line that keeps moving. And worse, it forces you to become someone you are not. You begin to shape your life not around what is right or wise, but around what will be praised. You silence your questions, your originality, your instincts are all for the comfort of fitting in. But reason does not ask for comfort. It asks for courage. It demands that you think for yourself, choose for yourself, and bear the weight of your own convictions. To live by reason is to live awake. It is to examine your motives, to ask not will they approve, but is this right? It is to hold your decisions up to the light of wisdom, not the spotlight of attention. You begin to see that most opinions are shallow, most judgments rushed, and most validation meaningless. What remains solid is what you know to be true through thought, effort, and experience. That is the ground on which you must build. When you focus on validation, your sense of self becomes fragile. Every criticism becomes a wound, every silence a threat. But when you live by reason, you become steady. You do not rise and fall with the voices around you. You act because your mind tells you it is right, and you can stand firm even when misunderstood. That is strength. That is freedom. You no longer need to prove anything, or you simply need to live with intention. This path is not glamorous. It will not always earn applause. In fact, it may often bring silence, or even resistance. But it will give you something far greater than validation. It will give you a self that you respect. A self that you know. And that is a foundation that cannot be shaken. Validation may offer a moment's relief, but reason builds a lifetime of meaning. Choose what lasts. Let others chase applause. Let them craft perfect images and echo what is popular. Why? Think deeply. Choose wisely. Act justly. Your life is yours alone to shape. No one else can live it for you, and no one else's opinion should hold a pen. Be good quietly, consistently, without audience. In an age obsessed with visibility, where every deed is displayed and every moment captured, goodness has been reduced to performance. People act kind when it is convenient, generous when it is seen, and noble when it will be praised. But this is not goodness, it is theatre. True virtue requires no spotlight. It does not wait for applause, nor does it wither without it. To be truly good is to walk the right path even when no one watches, even when no one cares, even when your effort goes unnoticed. When you understand that nobody truly cares in the way you think they do, you stop living for their attention. This gives you space to return to something more pure, the quiet commitment to live rightly for its own sake. Not because it is trendy. Not because it gains followers. But because it aligns with your soul. There is immense strength in the one who helps without needing credit, who forgives without a show, who works hard without announcing it. These are the acts that shape character. These are the things that make a life meaningful. Consistency is more powerful than a single dramatic gesture. One kind word each day. One disciplined act. One small effort to improve. Repeated, quietly, over time. These are not things that make headlines. But they make a person. While others chase the noise, you build something real. While they perform, you persist. And in the end, it is not the one who made the most noise that grows, it is the one who remained rooted. There will be no grand audience waiting to cheer for your quiet integrity. Most won't notice when you choose the hard right over the easier wrong. They won't see the temptation you resisted, the insult you didn't return, the work you did after hours. But that doesn't matter. You are not doing it for them. You are doing it because you know it is right. And that knowledge is enough. It is what allows you to sleep peacefully, to walk freely, to face yourself without shame. The need for audience corrupts the soul. It turns sincerity into strategy. But when you let go of that need, when you decide to be good for the sake of goodness itself, you find something rarer: authenticity. The kind of authenticity that does not depend on who is watching. The kind that exists even in solitude. Especially in solitude. Being quietly good doesn't mean being invisibly, it means being grounded. You are not hiding, you are rooted. You are not shouting your worth, you are living it. Let others chase attention. Let them turn every gesture into a performance. Why would just be? Do what is right. Do it often. Do it without needing to be seen. That is the highest strength. That is the kind of life that does not need validation, because it has already found peace. Time is short, to waste none of it on noise. Each moment you are given is a breath you will not get back. Days slip by, seasons change, and without even noticing, people lose years chasing what does not matter. They spend their energy reacting to gossip, explaining themselves to those who don't care, trying to please faces that forget them. This is the noisy, loud, constant, and empty. And yet so many are consumed by it, never realizing how much it is costing them. The world is full of distractions designed to pull you away from your own path. Opinions, trends, criticism, praise, attention, expectations, and none of it rooted in your purpose. It's easy to get caught in it. Easy to wake up and spend the day responding to things outside of you, while the things within, where the dreams, the discipline, the growth are left untouched. But time does not wait. It moves whether you move with it or not. And each hour spent lost in noise is an hour that could have been spent building something real. Nobody truly cares about your every move. People are busy with their own lives, their own worries. They may notice you for a second, judge you for a moment, praise or criticize you in passing, but they move on. And so should you. Stop explaining. Stop defending. Stop chasing their approval. These are traps that steal your time and offer nothing lasting in return. What remains, always, is your life. Your path. Your work. And that is where your focus belongs. Think of all the energy you've wasted responding to things that didn't matter. Arguments that led nowhere. Proving yourself to people who were never listening. trying to look right instead of doing what's right. All of that is noise. And once you see it for what it is, you can let it go. You can stop feeding it with your time, your thoughts, your attention. Focus on what you can control. Your discipline. Your values. Your effort. These are the things that deserve your hours. These are the things that give your time meaning. Let the rest fall away. Let others waste their days chasing applause, defending their image, drowning in distraction. Why use your time like it matters? Because it does. Every hour is a brick in the house you are building. Every minute you spend focused, grounded, and purposeful strengthens that foundation. You do not have to respond to everything. You do not have to attend every argument, join every trend, or prove anything to anyone. You only have to live your life as if it belongs to you. Because it does. And it is too short to give away to noise. When you learn to ignore it, when you discipline yourself to return to what matters, you gain time. Not just minutes, but life here uninterrupted, undistracted, and entirely yours. No one truly can, so this is your liberation. It may sound harsh at first, but within these words lies a powerful truth. From the moment we begin to shape our identity, we are taught to be mindful of what others think. We dress a certain way, speak a certain way, act in accordance with expectations that are often not our own. We live in a constant performance, a silent play where the audience is everywhere and nowhere at once. But the truth, when examined closely, is simple. Most people are far too absorbed in their own lives, their own struggles, their own insecurities, to truly care about yours in any lasting way. This truth is not meant to isolate you, it is meant to set you free. If no one truly cares, then why do we bend and break to gain their approval? Why do we silence our ambitions, edit our personalities, and postpone our potential just to fit into molds crafted by people who may not even remember our names tomorrow? The crowd is fickle. Applause fades. Opinions shift like the wind. And in the end, the one who suffers from this dependence is you. Understand this. The moment you accept that nobody cares, a burden is lifted. The pressure to impress, to explain, to justify your every move are gone. What remains is the raw, untouched field of your own life. A place where you can plant what you choose, build what you desire, and walk without fear of the eyes that follow. It is in this space that true progress begins, because it is here that your focus returns home. To your thoughts. Your actions. Your growth. People may comment, they may mock, they may even praise you, but all of it is fleeting. Their attention is temporary. Their judgment is shallow. One day, they are curious about your life. The next, they are consumed by their own. That is human nature. We are all, at the core, centered around our own existence. So rather than resenting this reality, embrace it. Let it give you the courage to move forward, unchained by their noise. When you stop caring about what others think, you make room for what truly matters. You begin to act from purpose, not performance. You wake up each morning asking not who will approve of this, but what is right for me. That shift is everything. It is not selfish, it is necessary. Because if you don't build your life according to your own vision, you'll end up living one shaped by others, and they were never truly watching to begin with. You owe it to yourself to focus. To do the work. To build, stumble, learn, and try again without needing applause. The world doesn't owe you attention, and that's a gift. Because now, you can live without waiting for it. Focus on your own duty, not others' opinions. This is the path of clarity in a world clouded by noise. Every day, people around you will speak, judge, and speculate. They will form opinions based on fragments of your life they do not understand. They will project their fears, their values, their limitations onto your choices. But none of it is your burden to carry. Your task is not to answer every question, please every face, or defend every step. Your task is to do your duty, to live with purpose, to act with integrity, and to build the life that belongs to you. The opinions of others are like the wind, restless, directionless, and forever changing. One moment you are admired, the next you are doubted. One moment they cheer you on, the next they question your path. If you allow yourself to be tossed about by these shifting voices, you will never stand still long enough to become who you are meant to be. Your duty, your calling, your potential, and none of these things can survive in the shadow of public approval. They require solitude, focus, and the strength to move forward even when misunderstood. Many waste their energy trying to explain themselves to people who aren't truly listening. They alter their course to fit in, to gain applause, to avoid criticism. But in doing so, they step away from their duty. And the further they stray, the more hollow their lives become. Because in the end, a life lived for others' expectations is not a life at all. It is a performance, a disguise worn too long. To focus on your own duty is to reclaim your energy. It is to decide, quietly and firmly, that your time on this earth will not be dictated by the shifting moods of the crowd. It is to know what matters to you and to act on it every day, with consistency, regardless of who notices. This is not pride, nor rebellion. It is discipline. It is self-respect. It is the understanding that while opinions come and go, your duty remains. Your duty may be simple or grand. It may be raising a child, perfecting a craft, healing others, building something new, or simply becoming a better version of yourself. Whatever it is sacred. And the more you devote yourself to it, the less power the outside world holds over you. Their opinions become background noise. Their judgments lose their sting. Because you are not here to impress, you are here to fulfill something far more meaningful. When you focus on your own duty, you find peace. Not the peace that comes from approval, but the peace that comes from purpose. It is not loud. It does not need to be seen. It simply is. And from that place of calm determination, your true life begins, and not as they imagine it, but as you shape it.